Wassail, mutable people, wassail, mutable people. Wassail, mutable people. Just cleansing the air a little. So we're doing mutable solstice. And it's been a tricky old morning. I've been in and out of everybody's energies. And I would say one of the key grabs was they'll get nailed. Actually, I'm going to put some Palo Santo oil on. Is digging very deep in whatever mutable element you have, because I've had to dig so deep all day. In the end, I was getting so frustrated. I went for a walk and came back in and was still frustrated. And then the kind of key came through, which was just slow down. Because I had this kind of manic energy, this desire to push everything through quickly. And it was like, no, you have to take your time. Everybody right now has to be slow and mutable. So what was very difficult was nailing down a song for you all. I was kind of like, I wish I hadn't started that yesterday when it was all flowing through, because today it was too cryptic. And there was something about how kind of easy it is to make wrong choices, and how we have to have time in mutable energy to allow options to kind of rise up and bring us better possibilities. So I just was doing my timestamps, but I've forgotten to put the last group on. So, am I missing people? Wassail, Seraph, Tarot, Wassail, Holly. So we're starting with Pisces. See, I have my page open on Sagittarius for some reason. And it's like, slow down, check your facts. So Pisces is kind of beginning at 303, Pisces. So what's going on with Pisces? Well, you on the 21st, I didn't do that at the beginning, do I? I'm going to start the Pisces numbers again in a minute. So Solstice is on the 21st of the 12th, 2022 at 9:48 p.m. GMT. We need to begin there. So let me rewrite Pisces time, 3:40. Now I've lost my timestamps page. Gotta slow down. I'm gonna give them another number now. Because look, I've lost the timestamps page. So Pisces timestamp is 4 minutes now. 4 minutes. Pisces, 4 whole minutes that you had to give patience for. So, where do we begin, Pisces? Where do we begin, Pisces? So, for your sign, oh no, it was Patrick live? I didn't even think to look. I'm so sorry, Patrick. He'll be all right. So you're covering houses 6, 7, and 8. So there's part of your energy that's in house 6, part in 7, mainly in 7, and then 8. So you're looking really at the energy of healthy friendships. Was the general first frequency that was coming through. So what do you have in your sign? You have Vesta at 10 degrees, Juno at 20 degrees, and Neptune at 22. So when I was channeling, there's a sense of scrubbing, cleaning up, but cleaning up actual sacral energies. So going down to the seat of your soul, but there's something in it that's also got an energy of cleaning up the astral. So you're trying to kind of dissolve emotional, I want to say like emotional spillages that are there that just need cleaning up. You need to get the old UV out on the astral and shine it over and look for the blood stains. The noise here today has been totally putting me on edge. I'm like, Peru, I love you, but I think I need to get out of a place where everyone just toots their horn all day long. Yeah, last night they added a cross and loads of fluttering flags outside. And I'm thinking there's some kind of Christian parade that could happen during this reading, except that they're still putting the flags up in that part of the street, and that's where the cars or the people carrying Jesus would come. So, yeah, there's a big lit neon cross at the top of the building. So, scrubbing, cleaning, there's a sense of emotional osmosis. So there's this energy of what belongs to you and what's been fed to you by others. It's like, I love you, here comes the plane. It's got that kind of energy of being force-fed other people's emotional intentions, and you're trying to work this out. So I was getting the energy of the moon in Pisces. It's not, but the frequency of how your emotions are moving, they're part of your transit. Wassail and his clips. And then Pluto kind of made an appearance as a kind of revealer of hidden truths. And there's something going on between Pluto and Neptune, sort of sextiling, and just kind of trying to clean up each other, almost like siblings. Well, they are siblings. Trying to work out how to stand in their own individuality within a family unit. And that's part of your frequency. And then there was a sense of needing emotional courage to kind of battle through the emotions and transform yourself. But it really is about transformations. Yes, please tap like, because there's 18 of you and I've only got 7 likes. And it really does make a big difference. I didn't used to say it because it just irritates me when people go, please tap the like button, please subscribe. But actually, if you don't get the likes, the algorithm doesn't pick you up. It'll judge you as not being very popular within the people that are watching you. So it's always good to keep the thumbs up very high. And I really don't want to keep saying it, which is why moderators always do. So your song is by Cass Elliot. I need the phone to bring up the lyrics. And it's a song called Make Your Own Kind of Music. So let's just find it for you. So it's nobody can tell you there's only one song worth singing. They may try and sell you because it hangs them up to see someone like you. But you gotta make your own kind of music, sing your own special song, make your own kind of music, even if nobody else sings along. So you're going to be nowhere. The loneliest kind of lonely. It may be rough going just to do your things, the hardest thing to do. But you've gotta make your own kind of music. Sing your own special song. So it's about you finding your tune and not the tune of, yeah, family, ancestry, but also the people around you, your friends, who just can't help keep nudging you. They're like, oh, it's just Pisces the daydreamer. We need to bring them back down to earth. Something here where being up in the dream astral sense is where you're doing your cleanup. And you're not cleaning up just for you. You're cleaning up on behalf of them as well, Pisces. So igniting your own fire, shining your own song light. And the fact that Neptune is here and Pluto's here, it suggests you need to pick sides in disputes for healthy friendships, and you need to pick your side. No compromising. So let's just dive in with this deck, the Shaman, to get some opening blows. I've been so manically overexcited all morning, and I'm just trying to tell myself to just calm down. I went out very late last night. I'm having that one. Yeah, Wassail, Paris. Yeah, I went out late last night, went down to a local market and just had a wander around. It was so gorgeous. Wassail, Paris, babes. So, what have we got? What have we got for Pisces? It feels naughty that I'm doing Pisces and you left Patrick, and he is Pisces. Right, that's too many. I'm putting those ones backward faced up. I'm only taking the ones I can't see, because it's too much confusion. There's a lot of confusion anyway at the moment. The other existence, there you go, the astral. 13, it's like a kind of death card. Oh, 13 and 3, Madre Tierra. Cleaning up two spaces, cleaning up there and cleaning down here. And then, someone else said this yesterday, but I don't remember who, were Spirit of Father Buffalo. This is finding your own kind of peace. So there's something about going into the astral's ghost realms. I don't know what that means. That's what I'm hearing. Going into the ghosts. And then transforming the ghosts. It's like going in and going into like a labyrinthine mansion or garden. And finding familiar things from history and realizing that they're less familiar because somehow they're being changed. It's like going there and seeing, oh, it was cancer, it may have been. I just have no memory when I'm in these moments, and I only remember things when I watch them back, and I haven't done that yet. Not that I watch myself back very often. Last night I was doing lots of room work. Anyway, so going into these astral ghost holes and finding things missing is what I want to say. Things that were familiar having been upgraded. So there's a sense of these upgrades that need to take place in the astral, and that's about cleaning up the astral. But there's something in this energy where going in, it's almost, you're a bit surprised that things are different. And it's going to make you start sort of searching the astral, trying to sense what's missing, looking for more that's missing. And what you need to do is kind of, you need to appreciate that what's missing is key to the fact that you've done the work to remove those astral blockages. And then when you wake, there's something about pulling that energy down into the real world. What in your real world can also then be transformed by what you witnessed in the astral. Thank you, Parry. Yes, it's always, I really am grateful for all the donations that I receive, because they do help me to explore making the decks and explore different places, have a roof over my head, have a bed to sleep in, even though it's always a different one. I really would like to just have a little moment now where I just get into the same bed every night so that I can access the astral myself in a different way. So thank you, Parry, for reminding everyone. Yeah, so bringing that energy down into your real world and making transformations, but you've got to come, your energy with this solstice that's coming upon you is this sense of merging the two different realms, the living and the dream realm, and then clearing it and the fogs that surround you and finding a new emotional peace. So let's get some runes on this. She knows. So, remember, Neptune is in your house, ruling at this point. At the moment, you've also got Jupiter in there, but Jupiter will be leaving later in the month. Well, it actually leaves kind of a day or two before this, because it's at 0 degrees of Aries on the solstice. And while that zero energy was very important to the cardinal signs, it doesn't seem to matter with what I'm picking up for you. There's no sense of urgency. There's no sense of jump in, begin something. This is a very calm frequency. So, weathering the fog. I mean, that's not the usual energy of this, but there is about weathering, seeing through Neptune's delusions. And look, you're one of the best signs focusing on delusions and illusions, because you find the illusory world far more interesting than the real world. But this is about bringing energies into the real world, finding peace in the real world. And that can be quite an ugly thing at first. But there is this real sense, you've got the shamanic guidance to bring and earth and ground the astral emotionally and find a healing, peaceful frequency. Then you've got Feo. Now, Feo is wealth, cattle, and livestock that you keep in a pen. And there's something about this frequency that's showing how it's time to kind of hem in, bridge, build walls around your truth. so that you will function more clearly. And it's usually this card has a sense of where we begin, but this is where you re-begin, where you start to build your dreams in reality, in the now, not just leaving them up in the astral. I think that's the key to this, is about bringing your dreams down and making them real, making them have a really gorgeous presence in your life. No, purges are not very good. Oh, look, see, bring yourself into the present. Purges are not nice. I'm just looking at the runes to see something. This is not a simple operation, and I think that's why we're being asked to say don't rush this. There's a sense of change, but everything seems to be, they're showing me digits that are one digit out or one digit waiting to move in, like the frequency hasn't quite, you haven't quite got a grip on the frequencies that you're working with. So it's this energy of this astral frequency is too dominant. It's out of balance, and it's bringing it down into the earth and birthing it in the present that matters. So let's have a look. I feel like I need another of these for Neptune. What's Neptune got to say? I mean, it's so Neptunian, it's almost not worth reading. It's the ancestral shaman, and Neptune deals with ancestral blood echoes that run through life. There's something about, as I look at these two, you need to be more fixed than this ancestral echo. You have to almost sit over this energy, because that energy is almost, there's something about you dreaming so many fantasy dreams that they're actually echoes resonating through you from the ancestors. You've got to pull your frequency in. Ground your frequency over all others. So, yeah, this is coming in with this. The swelgeness of the past. 151. So, swelgeness is Urdha. Urdha likes to flatter you with mistruths. She likes to keep your past alive, because in many ways her time is over. Wassail mama jama, her time is over. And so she likes to keep herself present by dragging up the past. But she's dragging up for you ancestral pasts in your ancestral pleasure palace. So you've got a horse, two ox or aurochs untamable, and Rippian mature. So there's something in this frequency about not just how you move towards you, but how you free yourself. This buffalo is like an ancestor or a descendant, but a relation of the aurochs. And the aurochs were giant oxen. And I think the last one was wiped out in about 16 something. And they have always been integral to mankind, which is why There, that's interesting. The cattle. What's penned in? You see, because that's the usual question with this card. What's penned in that shouldn't be? What are you holding on to as some kind of sense of wealth or status that shouldn't be? This is like the pen in the astral of your ancestors. And I don't mean it's just a fenced in area. What I mean is that your astral plane has ancestral entrances that have been used over and over again. And the fact that we're seeing this present doorway is about asking you to ground a new future now. Because there are so many open timelines, but I get the sense at the moment that you're touching, pulling, reading in their stories and not your own. And that's why you can't ground it, because it's not your tale. So there's a maturity that's needed. There's a lack of anxiety that's needed. Shooting everyone outside now. It's fireworks. Rippian is about growing up and recognizing dreams that we had in the past are not necessarily the best ways to move forwards. As I say, because I am getting this very strong sense here that you're reaching for dead dreams, or the dreams that are still breathing. It's almost like you're giving CPR to ancestral stories that are not part of your own drive forwards. You have a very different pathway to your ancestors, and their presence in your astral access point is influencing your dreams. And that means it's bringing their energies into your present, which is locking you in their past and not in your own future. So let's go to let's go to the pink deck. Yes. It's just that Pisces sometimes, I think, Holly, Pisces gets the impression that they're forward thinking, but they're trying to take forward the wrong frequencies. They're only forward thinking when they awaken to the fact that some of these dreams are not their own. They're expectations of sometimes the living, but also ancestral expectations, and they can be written into your family in the present, where people tell you you're like uncle or auntie so-and-so, or your grandparents, and you are, because there are ancestral blood stories, but the truth is you're you. You make your own kind of music and sing your own special song. So Pisces, let's get some tarot on what's going on. Wassail sheen. So you got strength, 9. You need this strength to weather this moment. Look, it's not a difficult energy. It really isn't. It's just about deciding to appreciate, awaken, and understand the energies that are being presented to you, are not the energies you're creating to present yourself into your future now. So you've got the power. You've got the power. You know, there's a triple lion skirted with a jaguar. There's something of a kind of roaring Kali Ma about this. And stepping on ghosts. Look, we've got these ghosts. I don't think you're going to be able to see them in this card. But in that little thing there, those spermy looking things are ghosts. Underneath the feet here are the same ghosts. Stamp out the ghosts of the past. Stamp out the ancestral swelgeness. We're nearly at the point, 25, 25, we've actually caught up. We were on 24, 26, and then someone left and someone put a thumbs up. So that's a nice moment for me personally. Two of Swords. This again is feeling like the ghost of the past, hemmed in, penned in to your Feo frequency in the astral. This is really dreamy energy, but not dreamy creamy, dreamy confusey woozy energy. I'm getting this energy of not knowing which way up or down you are. It's like all that glitters is not gold. There's some kind of energy where there's something very deeply enticing in the astral. Your dreams, your desire to sleep and to go through into the astral world is so exciting, but you're being presented there with some kind of astral falsehoods that are so real. Because they're being fed into your own history. They can be pesky sods, I'm telling you. Ancestral echoes on the astral are not the most helpful, because part of it is that they know you own the astral now and they don't want to give it up because it's such a nice place to be. I mean, they're not really there, they're echoes, they're memories stamped there. But those memories are still sentient somehow. They have a purpose, which is to maintain their presence. And sometimes we have to make them ghosts and move them out. So they're coming across as an astral army of ancestors, the AAA. And that's why they're masked. Look, they're passionate. They love that you are their ancestor, their descendant. But there's something about how they are the thorns on your present Vedandi. It's interesting, you've got next to each other two of the norns, but you have no energy of Scald. You have no energy of the future, because of the presence of these echoes in your astral dimension. So there's something about you're going in your dreams through your sleep portal, and then you're being led a merry dance and you're coming back in to doors of their choosing in your dream world. You're returning to energies where they are present, and somehow you've got to seek your own door out of the dream world. It needs to be your choice to trigger where you return, which dimension. And as I said, at the moment, there's never been globally as many dimensions and timelines that are flowing all together and into one frequency, with so many options to pick. So you've got the Emperor over Urva. Stop Urva dead. Dead is what the past is. So it's time to prune this pretty bunch of masked ancestors. Prune them back. the point is look, you have the power. You are the emperor of your own astral. You're the emperor of your own world, but we're dealing here with your dreaming astral frequencies. So let's move on through horse, ox, and rippian. There's one for horse. There's one for ox. Interesting. Horse, 8 of cups. Key. You got the key to move everything. You are the owner of the current key of your astral. You are the emperor. You are the keeper of the key. The spider weaves the magic webs, but the spider's 8 legs are a key. It's a very rigid key. It's not like octopus key, which is a master key that slides everywhere. This is hardware. This is keys that you own. You are the emperor of the astral. There's a crown on each of these cards. You are really in control. Do not be led a merry dance in the astral by those echoes. And they're doing that. At the moment, they've got you hanging on a spider's thread. So the card that's coming with your freedom is the fact that you're being manipulated in your dreams. Partly because, look, you spend a lot of your waking real life day dreaming of a world that's slightly more inclusive and functional that you can navigate. And so when you go into the dream world, you're so relieved to not be creating fantasies that you're almost allowing them to just lead you up the garden path. So what's the energy of the maturing Rippian? Oh, it's very tight-lipped. Oh, now it's trying to get away with itself. It's given a spillage. And I want to say, because of this, they didn't come out. They caught inside the deck. They're things that you need to witness. These are things hiding in the fog. You need to almost use an application of Pluto to reveal the hidden truth. What are we revealing? Judgment. Oh, this is interesting. Judgment and the Wheel of Fortune, 20 and 10. 20 is Juno, 10 is Vesta. So Juno is trying to, I think, awaken you so that you can merge yourself to the journey in the astral. And then Vesta is the energy to move your Wheel of Fortune forwards so that you can bring this Empress energy down. So you are the birther of life, and on the astral, you're the pruner, you're the gardener, you're the sacred gardener. So we've got these two very strong energies to come out of what? Oh, look, it's the devil. It's like the halfway point between 10 and 20, the 15. And this is what's keeping you hanging. It's them. I'm not saying go in and punch them in the face, but you can go into dreams and you can actually start to maneuver things to gain your own freedom. Let me just go in and focus on what's going on inside the frequencies. I feel like there is a bit of fisticuffs going on. Have a look at the little cherubs here. They're doing like a kind of a punching Ganesh remover of obstacles. This Ganesh frequency is kind of killing off their ability to control you in the astral. You're going to stand in your own astral frequency. And you're being birthed as the King of Wands, which is he of the ideas. You know, the endless notions of new ideas, new dreams. You've got to take control of your own astral. You're so good at dreaming in the 3D that you've got to take control of dreaming in the astral. So let's go to the Alchemy of Astrology deck to bring this little reading to a close. So down on the floor, where you can't reach easily, is cardinal modality. This is the renewal card. This is the big ideas. This is very much, here's this frequency. The King of Wands has got a very cardinal frequency. So in your mutable emotions, know that the whole point of being mutable is you have the power to ripple through things and separate and make new space. But you've somehow got to then be more cardinal to fill that space with your wishes, your dreams, your future now in the astral. Moon. Didn't I have moon in Pisces right from the beginning? The moon. There's an emotions that are taking place in sleep that you're not consciously controlling. You're better in the 3D than you're currently doing in the astral. And that's a really weird energy to think about. You've also got moon in Gemini. So this is opening a space in thoughts to redefine emotions, because all air frequencies are an editing suite, and you're kind of trying to edit out the interference in the astral. So networking, pulling the right threads in the astral, and the threads will be disguised as anything. They can be doorways, they could be pulling a flower, they could be eating food, but there are energies, threads, possibilities, timelines, dimensions that you need to start sifting through, searching through, editing, and work out, did you put that flower there that you picked, or did an ancestor? Does it feel honest to your truth when you wake up? Can you, with the objects, the things you see in your dreams, can you bring them down and find space for them in the real world? Because somehow this is about how you interpret dreams. So when you wake up in the morning, do you struggle to remember the dreams? If you don't and the dreams are there, ask yourself about the details in the dream. What was the strongest detail? Is it your story or is it someone else's? So they're threads. They wanted me to say they're threads of courage that you have to pick up. Courage because you have to work out whether they serve you or not. This is interesting. Sappho. This is an expression of love through poetry. This is sensual bathing or cleansing rituals. And this is to be inspired by a muse. I feel there's an importance to noise from you within dreams to make your presence. Do you dream in silence? Maybe that's because you're being strung along. And then Sappho 33, 34. So 3, 3, 3, 4. It's like the Empress, the Empress, the Empress, the Emperor. It's pruning your astral, unearthing it. The power to earth is vast. Moon in Gemini is 55, and that's also got the energy of the fifth dimension. The dreams that haven't yet been grounded. The emotions that haven't been grounded. The individualism that hasn't been grounded. Going back to make your own kind of music. Sound. You gotta make sound in your dreams. Even if it's rattling a drum or picking up and smashing a window. Just own your own space. Oh look, and here's a really interesting card, 1-3. It's where we began. 13-13. That's interesting. They're saying the house 13 is almost the other place. To you, you'll understand that. This is the bolt from the blue. This is the galactic threads of divine consciousness. This is the snake bearer. This is a very powerful frequency and opportunity for transformation. I just want to look and check where Sappho is. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, 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 wah. We've had Sappho. It was in someone's reading. It must have been yesterday. I'm sure. Oh, interesting. And I didn't bring my computer because I was like, no crutches. You can remember these things. Let me just check I'm not missing it. I put little boxes around any named planets and asteroids. It might be that I just sat there staring at it. I feel like it's in Virgo for some reason. Yeah. Virgo. So you've got a link here to all the mutable signs but the fires. Well, I say that. The dates of Ophiuchus do stretch into the middle of Sagittarius. 30th to the 17th, November to December, I believe. So you're working on all irregularities will be handled by the forces controlling each dimension. I'm working with the 4 ethers. You're using all 4 ethers on the astral. Wassail, the brave adores, brave and shandy. I love a typo. So, bringing it down to the seat of your soul. The stories you create in the astral. Hang on, I feel like we've had a 17-17. Livestock, bringing livestock. You're bringing the energies down to the present world. Oh, you've got a 50-50. This will really help you to mature. This opening the mutable. I feel like you're being given that your keys will open all the elemental doorways of the ethers. You have the access. It's almost because Sappho's on that energy. It's like the command of open sesame. I'm not saying that there's some kind of secret code word, but you need to fight to speak your story in that world. If you're going to bring this down and place it back in your heart. Wassail Moonwolf. Yeah, really about bringing it home, bringing it here, bringing it to the earth. But you've got to open all those doors to the ethers in the astral. Oh no, it's gone under the sofa. I'm going to have to go and get it. Talk among yourselves. Oh, how am I going to move this? Oh, look. Oh no. I just got to push the sofa back because the Virgo stellium within me knows it's now in the wrong place. And that's just going to sit in my peripheral vision, irritating me. So, Mars. So, I think the cardinal energy you're looking at, that's not so easily present even in terms of the mutable Sagittarian fire, is to root with power and strength, to believe in the abundance that you can pull down from the astral. Sorry, I've got the blinds down, but you can see through them. And it look like they were about to hit the neon cross with a hammer, the way they were swinging that stick. Very strange. So yeah, there's something here, C and D. It's bringing your dreams into your bones somehow. The bone collector. Collecting your dreams in your whole body. And that's your truth. I wouldn't mind, but that's not a fire engine. So, Pisces, working on different ways in which to work with your dreams. See, I'm getting threads of Sagittarius' song. I'm not doing them next. Maybe I'm meant to. I'm going through them in the order they're written down. Unfortunately, it does mean that Sagittarius is last. So that's those back. Ah, you know what I didn't do on yours? I promised to do them on everyone else's. I'm so sorry, the bells. But I can end with your bells. That seems the best way to do it. So that was interesting. There was a sense of a heavy silence, and that, I think, is the message of your reading. Break the astral silence. Break the astral plotting. That these ancestors like their echoes in the astral because they had lifetimes there, and it was a place where their dreams were stored. And so they like that energy to remain there, but it's time to clean up your astral. Knock out anything that doesn't resonate as your absolute truth. It's yours. You're the key holder currently. So, I need my book. And we need a new timestamp. It was on Virgo then. I was like, I've just been reading everything and giving you all the information from Virgo. It was because I was searching for Virgo. So, we're at 54. Oh, I wrote 50. 54, 54. So, Gemini, 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 Gemini. Right, Gemini. You are completely and utterly house 10. There's a little bit of house 10 in Taurus, only 1 degree, and then there's another 7 degrees of it in Cancer, but otherwise it owns you. So this is about status. Because Mars is there at 11 degrees 21, there's a sense of status frustration. It's really strange because these mutable energies, it feels like these houses are causing you, or your planets in these placements are causing slightly more concern, but it's because they're asking you to perform some kind of magic. So what was I getting? I was getting it's time to apply a salve. And it is a bit like a soothing balm. So I'm being told to mention plasters, as in the old Roman plasters, which was something we wrapped around that contained healing ointments and often clays. But so the key thing I got was bleed, stem, protect. Bleed, stem, protect. And then I was getting this energy of poison in the ashes. Embers. And the sense of the swan transformation, the turning the ugly into something wondrous. And it's about opening your mind, stretching your mind. So I'm seeing, I can't remember where it was, it's somewhere in Italy where there's a spring, a spa, ancient Roman spa that was fallen into disrepute. And for some reason they decided, I don't know whether they were going to do it up to make it work again. It's some kind of mud or clay spa. And as they went digging, they found a load of Etruscan statues, beautiful bronzes. It's only in the last couple of weeks. But that's this energy of something splendid coming from the mud, like a kind of cosmic air phoenix coming up from dirty thoughts. I don't know. The ashes, the embers, the poisons of poor mental discipline, maybe. So your song that I was hearing is the song by Björk, which is All is Full of Love. There's something about very dreamy and watery about that song. There's a couple of robots in the video kind of caring or promising to care for each other. And there was something in it that was a little bit of it being Castor and Pollux, it being the two parts of your frequency, needing to care for each other and feeding each other the energy of love. So the lyrics, the lyrics, check my lyrics, although they're not mine, obviously. You'll be given love. You'll be taken care of. You'll be given love. You have to trust it. Maybe not from the sources you have poured yours. Maybe not from the directions you are staring at. Twist your head around. It's all around you. All is full of love, all around you. You just ain't receiving. All is full of love. Your phone is off the hook. All is full of love. Your doors are all shut. And be the little angel. All is full of love. Repeat it. So your song was the first one that gave me the energy of the importance of pausing, the importance of meditate. I need to meditate with my buffalo drum, but that's exactly the word I was about to bring up, about sitting in an energy of loving thoughts for yourself, for both parts of yourself, healing both energies. So, bells. We're going to begin with your bells while we're remembering them. I've got an itchy stomach and solar plexus. It's part of my healing because of the tattoo. It's got like a little spot seeming to erupt. Starting that again. It's got drilling now. So when I heard that drilling and said I got drilling now, I was shown the image of trepanning when they used to drill a hole in the skull to release various things. I'm not saying you need to do that at all, but it's about drilling into your memories somehow. They're showing me now, I'm not even ringing the bells, they're showing me now how the two sides of you, the two energies where you store information, are out of balance, and you need to take some from one and give it to the other so that you can restore balance to yourself. So I was hearing DISCO by the young professionals, like a party going off, like a celebration going off, like a series of explosive epiphanies, but they're not right. There's something about your brain needs that is the thing that must slow. This is why you need to settle into some kind of thought peace, because there's a desire within you to spark up with the first epiphanal moment and just run with it, and actually it's not the energy. It will chain your ankles together and you will trip, stumble and fall. So see, that's this energy, things coming in too fast. In Pisces it was really slow. I almost bored myself. But with yours, I'm having to fight too much knowledge. Gemini. I'm not taking that. Although, now I've got to go back because they're like, there's the mirror. It is needed. It's the two sides. Ooh, I've never seen that one. Oh. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? So this is coming out. Castigado and Pollux. Castigation is bollocks. I was shown the 9 and the 11 mirror. And this is justice. But you're so out of balance in how you define yourself currently that you're almost telling yourself off. It's getting a bit warm in your reading, like the heat's building up now. the collector of souls. I want to say that this is actually about that little desire that runs through you at times to gather the gossip on others. Not as a manipulation, but just because it gives you pleasure to gossip. And the balance of the cosmos is castigating you for that frequency. So, sorry, I felt like, again, your information had got ahead of time. This is the energy that I keep getting in. I'm like, oh no, I've just read everything from Gemini and someone else is reading. It's like everything's coming out quicker than you can. It's not control it. It's literally, it's coming through so fast you can't collate it, and so you're almost throwing the knowledge into the wrong pan. Wassail fire up Marduk. I feel there's tortured souls in both these cards. Are they the victims of your gossip? They're not. They're stories that are... It's like they're underneath your skin and they're trying to push their way out. Like, almost like having some kind of involuntary vocalization. There's something self-sabotaging that has to just be knocked on the head. I'm sure you will do it. So, we're looking at Mars. There is this sense of, you know, Mars is in your sign for 7 months. And that can be quite disturbing, because it can be really too much. And here, this card's coming across always at the moment as Jupiter. And it's almost like, look, Mars is in your sign. Mars rules Aries. Jupiter's just at this point 0 degrees Aries. So I think here you need the help of Jupiter and his wishes. But those wishes should really be made before the 21st. So get your wishes in order. That's almost these pulsing desires in your body that you can't control are being fueled by Mars. And you need to just blow, you see, I was going to say blow them down, blow on Mars, but that will make Mars more fiery. You need somehow to calm Mars. I need to know how you calm Mars, because that's... Right, so, Mars. How do you calm Mars? What shamanic magic will calm Mars? 313. An inner mirror. You need to reflect. You need to reflect stories, thoughts at Mars. This is really fascinating. So it's like the energy I'm picking up from these cards is, it's like doing a deal with Mars, but you're doing the deal with Jupiter on your side. So somehow it's not like you need to ask Jupiter to help you suppress Mars as such, But I think one of your 9 Jupiter wishes needs to be about a re-evaluation of anger and anxiety. So that pushing of heat through the skin, like itchy elbows or eczema or psoriasis, is something unprocessed, trapped within you, that's being kind of Wassail. At the moment, Jupiter's at 0 on this day, but Jupiter's in Pisces granting the wishes now. So find a way to salve, blood, stem, protect. Jupiter is your protector right now. There's something about offering a release to Mars. Remember Mars, you own house 10. This is your house of status. And Mars will leave on the 30th of March. I need some more cards, but I don't need the runes yet, weirdly. I need a story. So talk to me about Mars, talk to me about Jupiter, Gemini, Mars, Jupiter and Gemini, Mars, Jupiter and Gemini. So I was hearing walking the wrong road with this card immediately. Walking the wrong road, losing the sense of the wishes. I said there was a parade coming. Let me just pull the blind up in case they pass by, because we love a parade in the videos. Oh, we have. So I think, oh, people. I would open the window, I can't. Well, seriously, if they put all this flagging up for people that can't even be bothered to dress up properly, I'm not impressed with them. And look, already, unless, no, this is just frustrated drivers behind them. There are firemen on all kinds of weird routes still putting up flags. Well, that was a little disappointing. I was expecting a big procession for all that flagging. Yeah, we had a parade, but I wasn't impressed with that parade. Oh, look, it is Mars frequency bugging you, really giving you a headache. This is 6 and 9. So you've got this energy, the collecting of souls, collecting of irritations, that's just making you at the moment feel, Gemini, like one of your heads is going to pop. I want another parade. I want a better parade. That's almost part of your story. There's a... like it's I feel like there's, I'm going to ask, I feel like there's an energy in your protection from Jupiter of like some kind of trickery going down. So Jupiter and Mars. King of coins, 5 of coins. You see, I'm picking up an energy. It's got nothing to do with them, but it's kind of the revenge of Hades. Why would there be a revenge of Hades? Jupiter. There's something in here about how Jupiter in his protection role birthed, well, he didn't quite, but he did, birthed through Leda, the swan. He turned into a swan and she gave birth to 2 eggs, but one of them was her husband's and one of them was Jupiter's. And Jupiter's being this king of the physical plane of wealth, although Hades has more wealth, because all the elements under the earth are more important. That's why there's something about the Pluto Hades frequency. But so Pollux and Castor are twins, but they came from a different egg each. So there's a mortal and an immortal. And Mars, this feels like Mars feeling sort of exposed to, it's like Mars requires something. Mars needs some kind of offering. Jupiter can make that offer. I don't know whether Jupiter will deliver the offer, but it needs to come through you as a wish. So what are you asking for, or is it just personal? And we can't know for sure. So it's Venus frequency. It's so interesting. She came out as, this is the energy of the conjunction between Pluto and Venus on the 1st. And it's part of some kind of fate that your healing of this frustration with Mars begins on the new year. It's almost like you've just got to weather it for the moment. We have the norms. It's a woven story that must take place. And I think that part of it is that you've got to question your own blood-burning frustrations. And then you have this energy of the healing as Venus. And here we have another healing. This is 2 cards of healing. You are being promised a frequency of love to heal you. But yeah, Hades' revenge. I think it's, there is this energy where Venus has got a bit of a thing for Hades. And we do have a king and queen. We do have a divine coupling. It's a moment that somehow has to exist, this conjunction. I mean, I felt that was Jupiter, but it's clearly coming across as Hades. And there was there's a frustration because remember Mars had an affair, is often thought of as a consort of Venus, but they're not matched. There's something about, there isn't a mercurial trickster frequency going on in this storyline with Mars, this fury beneath the skin. It's a really weird energy. Blood, stem, protect. Let's get some runes on it. I think the key is this. All is full of love. That energy of Björk's song. But we're still not getting the answer on your wish. There's something you've got to look at. What are your triggers? What's raging that you're not facing as a kind of fury point? That's just come out in the last reading. Maturity. You know, it's like grow up. But what they mean by that is to grow up, you have to face some thread of fury that is from your past, from your youth, that's to do with a love wound. Because there was a union between Venus and Mars. And now we're getting this union that's long overdue between Pluto and Venus. And as I say, I had that energy of the wronged in terms of the Jupiter turning into the swan transformation that produced the frequency of Gemini. So there's something ancient in your story. Protection, again. The protection is here. The Helm of Ore. 6 and 9, 3 and 6. So the energy that is missing is your own inner soul work on your anger issues or your frustrations. It doesn't have to mean you're someone that gets so cross that you want to go out and, you know, smash the kitchen to pieces. There's something here that's just about things that bring up uncomfortable childhood energies. Timestamps, 4 minutes was where we began Pisces, and 54 when we began Gemini. What else can you tell us about this? The Mars wish and this Loki trickster mercurial frequency. Because remember, hot on the heels of Venus conjunction, there'll be a Mercury conjunction with Pluto. Smelt. This is fluid fury. It's coming across totally as fluid fury. 1717. And it's a love wound. It's like a leche. It's where you're still bleeding emotionally, still feeling naked in passion from an old love wound. And there's something about ordinarily it would stay down. But Mars is just in there for 7 months, pulling it up, pushing it to the fore. Wassail, Moonwolf, Earth Grip, Hemphoreld, Swelgeness, Butcher's Brom. This is not listening. Not listening. This is when Odin doesn't want to face a destiny, doesn't want to face something, and he asks a question and he doesn't hear the answer. You have to listen to your other self. Now, normally I'm telling you, become one. You can't become one with this wound. And look, here, the journey home is in your separation, is in stretching the space between the two parts of you. And you can almost see the formation you know, bring that down there, turn that one up and put it across there. You can make this very simple. It's not difficult, but you've got to sweep away the past. 51, 52, Brom and Swelgenist. You are trapped in the Swelgenist. This is like a raging sea around you, and you've got to calm everything down so that you can have this double wonderful healing that's being promised to you. It's lovely energy, but you've got to face this love wound, this poison in the ashes, this moment pre-transformation, because you are going to be this cosmic rising phoenix. Interesting. Rusted. That's your calcified, tarnished patina where the poison lies. There's something in this that's the wrong kind of Venus. Like, did you marry for money, or did you make a relationship based on someone having riches? That Plutarch frequency, because this is possessions, the rusted possessions that are choking your truth. And then you've got Moon in Gemini and Cancer, and as I say, that's this departure of Mars into Cancer from Gemini on about the 30th of the 3rd next year. So the healing is coming. You just have to have some patience. It's a spring thing, but you've got to work on it. You've got to identify your wrong thoughts, the wrong storage of memory. Remembrance, Rosemary for remembrance. I'm going to pull that out because I think it's a good card with Rosemary for remembrance. Air, air, what are you? Air. And you've got purify. Purify your thoughts. Oh, look, house 10, status. Your status will grow immeasurably because of this moment. You've got the protection. You've got the healing coming, but you have to polish the old patina, the rusted side. You've got to have, you've got to have cosmic ambitions and shine. You need to shine. Polish, soul ablutions. There's a sense of, I wanted to say self-atonement, but there's something wrong and distorted in that energy. You need to resurrect your clarity, your truth. You need to purge the pain. Hear the pain, see the pain, witness the pain, and purge the pain. What's missing from this lineup here is the number 7, understanding the pathway. It's here in the runes, but it's not in the alchemy of astrology. And actually, in the runes, you got 1777. So, and you got 527. It's the cleaning, the clearing, the separation that will bring you out of this trauma and heal you for next year. So, what I've got is this. So it's this energy of Scorpio frequency. You can choose to not listen. I can't hear you, I can't hear you. Or you can choose to stop stinging yourself. and stinging your emotions, and allow this to heal, to distill. You can connect. Look, take the sting out of the tail. This is interesting. The symbol visions. Take the sting out of your tail by resolving. Look, I feel like, you know, I'm not saying that you've dated somebody, married somebody, or whatever who was cruel. I think there was a separation in your past and you've never let go of it. You've anchored it so hard that it's like you couldn't pick up a romance novel and read it because it would just make you angry. And at the moment, Mars is helping to really push that. You've got Quicksilver, which is a sense of Mercury, but it's the ability to flow in mutable modality. That's the point. Your mutable modality, 52. You're getting lots of twinning energies. So pulling apart and balancing your polarities, balancing every thought and every emotion. And then we got the last pile down here. So look, embers, the phoenix. You got to rake over the poisoned embers. And moon in Aries, there's something about asserting, pioneering your own fires, not the fires created by this old situation. You're ending that so that you can rise, and then look, you rise. Ah, look, 77. You're twinning energies all the way through this. Prima material, the Philosopher's Stone came with the Monas Hieroglyphicus, sacred arcana knowledge, the unity of you within the cosmos, you returning from the Bifrost as if you've been rebirthed from the cosmic sea worm. It's amazing energy, but the hard part is getting you to hear that message and choose to move on from that message. So, Gemini, that's yours. Ooh. Beautiful. It's all Greek to me. So, let's pull these back. I'm going to have some water because I haven't had. Hey, see, look, Holly, I just said it as a comment came in. I was like, or Holly is going to tell me to hydrate. Used to be Hannah Spanner's job, but I haven't seen Hannah Spanner for a while. But we sometimes bring these names up. I know, Holly, that was just such in tune moment. I could hear you typing clearly. Or you were typing thoughts you knew I was about to release. So let's get all these back in their decks, and then we're going to move on to Virgo. Eve will be very upset that she missed this, and Kathy, because I don't think either of them are here. And I haven't seen Penelope. I haven't had a peep from Penelope for ages. And whenever Penelope turns up, Virgo gets really raunchy readings. Wassail, Steph! So, let's get a new timestamp for Virgo. 9444. That's a nice number. But now I've got to work it out in real time. 01, it's 94, so 01, 30, 44. No, 01, 34, 44. Oh, Eve. You just tuned in as I'm doing Virgo. And I just said, where's Eve? I did also say, Wassail Esther. Yeah, Short Shorts Penelope. We haven't seen her for a while. She's a native New Yorker. Actually, she's not. She's a native of Trinidad and Tobago. So, Virgo. 42. Let's do your bells first. And then we'll go on to what we've got going down for you. There's quite a lot on Virgo that came through. You've got a lot of power at the moment. But anyway, let's go with the bells. So I was hearing, there was a lot of wetness and dew forming. I was also going to say to Stephanie, Kathy had a dream about Vikings. You should have a chat with her about that. Boat building. But there was a wetness. It's interesting because I think, I don't know who sings Native New Yorker. Is it Barbara Streisand? But I was also hearing another song which is wet is rain, rain is clean and new. New is the morning and morning dew. Wet are the tears that touches you. Or something. I can't really remember. It's very old. Sure there are a couple of Barbara Streisand songs. I must just be tuning in to Barbara Streisand because that's the third Barbara Streisand. Streisand. It's not a Z. Barbara Streisand. It's really hard to correct that. It's an S apparently. Maybe she just wanted that message out because I thought about that earlier and then said Streisand with a Z. Or a Z. It's with an S. Streisand. So, Virgo. So you're dealing with houses 12, 1 and 2. This is a big energy coming for you, mutableness. You're dealing with getting rid of things, re-establishing your true essence and moving through into a sort of sense of possessions, I guess. There was something else trying to break through and it couldn't. I've been having that a lot in your reading. It's like everything's plastered up and I have to work really hard to crack through. But when I crack through, there's so much inside that it's a little bit strong. Wassail vita. So, I heard very early on word on the street, Virgo, is, but it didn't tell me what the word on the street was. But so there's something about being outside that must matter. Walking, dancing in the streets if you want to, but that's not your song. Unanchoring and two paths to freedom. So I'm being shown two Ganunga gaps that you can go into. There's something about walking a path between two worlds, like like walking and seeing a building, and then there's another image of the same building that's not quite in tune, and sometimes the other moves forwards. It's like seeing between molecules, and there's an untamable, I want to say, do not mess with Virgo right now, because I've got the power. They've got the power at the moment. But I was picking up a very strong energy. Wassail, David, and Kiki, and Katie, of earth and water. It's really important to seed emotional truths and be honest with yourself. But you gotta return the water to the dry old land. Also, something of a very personal border dispute within your own truth was coming through. Don't self-criticize, resolve. Resolve. So Chariklo and Saturn, and they're in Aquarius, but I think you should have a look in your charts at what you've got in Aquarius. Is the beautiful way was so beautiful, Patrick. I'm so sorry, Patrick. I had no idea you were live, and I started and felt really bad. And I started with Pisces. So, Chariklo, look what you've got in Aquarius, but also look where Chariklo and Saturn are in your birth charts, Virgo. I also want to say there's a lot of bad songs written about Virgo. I didn't pick one of them, but I was searching through, struggling for a tune that fitted. Your song really was difficult, because it's about being between worlds and that focus shifting and opening dimensional portals and not knowing how to settle or where to walk or how to transform to bring those sort of energies. So part of what I saw was like, there's so many dimensional possibilities, and you've got so much power to sweep them open at the moment that it's like the ground in all those interdimensional threads is so wet and soupy that the anchors that were on in the land, the things that held you fast, they're all coming out. They're snapping away, or the chains are rusted. I don't know, but there's a sense of pulling up false truths from your childhood, and then that will allow you to shift future possibilities. It's a real tiny, whiny, goopy, soupy kind of frequency. So your song's a bit weird, because it's kind of like an energy that you need to sit in. It's Christina Aguilera's Change. But they said this is your song, but while it's being sung, they're going, don't wait, change now. You've got the power. So there's something about the lyrics of the song that are kind of like sitting in that, oh, I hope and I trust change will come along. No, make it. You are mutable earth. And while the earth's been all souped up, made all wet and all kind of boggy, pull out all the old shit and change it. That's where you begin, Virgo. Where do I begin? In your childhood somehow. Yeah, I nearly fell down the spiral staircase from the roof. Because there were two of them, and I was like, Virgo, stop it. So, Virgo. Oh, I haven't told you. You've just got Sappho. That's all you've got. I haven't written down the degrees for Sappho. Are you sure? Are you absolutely sure that Penny hasn't turned up? Right. 13.6. The other existence. That's that other world you're peeping into. But then you've got, look, you've got El Amor, the love. I feel like you're wrapping the love back into the world. You know, all that stuff about walking with your intentional footsteps. That was really absolute. He knew what he was doing. It's sent over here. Oh, look, it's on my birthday. This is the destiny of love. It's the first 1 and 10. So the Ace of Healing. Okay, the Ace of Healing and the 10, the wheel, the drum of spirit. You are the rhythm of life. You are the powerful beat. You've got that tingle in your fingers. You've got that tingle in your feet. Spread your wings and fly to daddy. You are the daddy. That's interesting. I feel like you're about to start being the castigator. So you're dealing with 12-1-2. You're going through a massive transformation. I feel like what's happening now is you're bringing yourself into a loving balance, changing your now, going right through what you release in house 12 in that little moment that's in Leo from 10 degrees, and then at 7 degrees of Virgo. So between 1 and 7 of your own sign, you've got that house 1 energy, you've got house 12 going into house 1, bringing it down, making it personal, transforming it, and then turning that energy out into the world. There's something waggy fingered about you. You are being a little bit like Justice. You're being a little bit Libra. Oh, it's that energy that was in your reading the other day of you having a little bit of the X-ray passion, starting a relationship and knowing where they need castigating, but you're too busy enjoying yourself to worry about it for the time being. It's like having life and love on your terms. Yeah, love is the focus now. Really is. Ah, look, I'm going with this deck for you. Yeah, I'm going to do the runes in a minute. Everyone wants to be Virgo. All of a sudden, I'm so happy with my Virgo stellium. So, that tried to lift love in the air. As I rifled them, the wind, the breeze. That's that Libra. You're being more Libra, Virgo. So I am doing partnerships and I see right through your lies, but for now it suits me. I'll smart you out later. So, Virgo. Virgo. There's a single card sitting on the table, and it's got a little bit of a cocksure look about it. Ooh, look. This is 5 of Cups. This is that energy of... that's interesting. It's the old griefs that you have. This is those things in the childhood that left you broken-hearted, empty-hearted, and it's time to put them in the other existence. What is the other existence? What is this dimensional soup that you're seeing, that you're passing through all the time? It's the option to shift into another dimension. What you got to do is tickle your boxes. Remember, you are the power that opened the earth a year ago. You're now the power that can shut it. Put the shit in the crevice you open. All that stuff from your childhood that bothers you, just put it all in there. Shut the door on that whole frequency. There was something about shutting doors. So yeah, closing it off and leaving it there. You don't need it where you're going. Where you're going is just gorgeous. And there is that little waggy finger that you've got because you've dealt with your own childhood falsehoods. You've dealt with them. So now you can wag the finger at other people and go, I've done this, you need to do it. I see through you. I've got my X-ray vision on. So, Virgo, you see, that's why it had that cocksureness. You know you can do this, you know you're doing it, you know you're self-empowering by shutting off the shit. I'm doing it too, Virgo. If you're doing it, I might be Libra, but I've got that big old stellium. It's in my house 10. Now, I know immediately that they're not your cards. They were like, don't talk about yourself, talk about Virgo. Also, I like lemon and ginger, a little bit of honey. Also, I told you the other day that my mum and dad said, we're not helping you anymore, no more crutches. But my mum's mum is around, and she's a Virgo. And she was an absolutely gorgeous woman, also born in a great conjunction of Virgo, Saturn and Jupiter. Anyway, it's not about her. This is about you guys. Right, so, what's coming in for Virgo apart from love? I'm not saying this is the right one. I'm saying you're going to have some fun. You can make them the right one when you X-ray passion them and get them out of their... I'm not going to say they're falsehoods, they're misapprehensions. It's where they just don't get it, bless them. Yeah, look. 6-6. This is new. This is, I want to say, for you, unwritten territory. You've never had a relationship where actually you've absolutely been in control of yourself. What else? 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 I'm just curious to see if you've got landing on the old you, decrepitude. It's like, so I'm being told it's like the frequency, because we've got this 5-5, it's the frequency of becoming like Persephone, becoming her mother, Ceres. There's something about, and it doesn't mean you have to become your mother, it's not in that sense. What I mean is there's an energy here of wounds, traumas from childhood that need changing are being visited on you from wounds visited on other relatives. It could be your father, but it's an energy where it's nostalgically dangerous, and that's why you're going to put it in the other realm. So there's a little bunch of cards here. Ooh, Virgo. Decrepitude is always near, but it doesn't have to be. You can be reinvigorated. Okay, so love, another 5. So we got 5, 5, 5. This is transformative energy. Okay. 5 of coins. This is about an affair, love. Now, it comes with the what do they call it? The significator. But to me, it's a significantly big affair. Where are you on this card? Oh, you're hanging around the sacral. Interesting. So, yeah, a significant affair, and there's something about, look, you can be cranky, old, conquering, or he or she, the other person could be this energy, but it's about you. They think they've got control, you've got control with this X-ray passion frequency, and it's making you younger. It's age, or it's decrepitude transformative love, which is a beautiful thing. So let's just get a little bit more on this wonderful, look, it could be a relationship you're already in where you're going to get the power to transform with that exo passion. There's a gift coming with this between worlds frequency, choosing to change the childhood blockages and feeling totally empowered and healed. Really powerful, fortune-shaking transformation. That card felt like it touched me out. So this is the stillness, and that's over the decrepitude. This is the moment now, Virgo, where you need to sift. You need to work through all this gorgeous energy. You don't want to rush it. You do not want to rush it. I didn't actually read your lyrics to you. Yeah. You don't want to wait. There is an energy of impatience. You want to get on this, but you're still in decrepitude. You've got to change, unanchor that past to free the doorway for this energy to come in. But it's annoying, it's frustrating, because you just want to get on with the good stuff. You can read the lyrics. I was going to pick it up, but there's something about we need to be in this energy. So let's get some runes on it, Virgo. Ha, 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 ha. Stuff. Ha, ha, ha. So, extending your destiny and then Kanafa. So there is, again, there's something within this that's a destiny point backwards in terms of time. He had a lot down here, the speed of time. Dimension paths are breaking up the past anchors. Shift the future possibilities, polybicities. So this leaf is something new that's extending, but it's extending a destiny, a loving destiny. And Kanafa is a knave, is a young person. This is regenerative frequency. There's something in this where when you anchor all the childhood rubbish down, remove it, you're creating new possibilities. Because you're going through a dimensional shift. Look, I'm in this dimension and I have a tapestry that I was born with. But if I open a way into other dimensions, when I get into the next dimension, there's a different tapestry awaiting for us there. And that's why we can always change destinies. And look, this is your personal Yggdrasil tree. You're changing your tree. You're changing where you're rooted. You're changing. Trees, shamanically, are portals. They're doorways. I'm not saying you need to go out and hug a tree, but there is something about the presence of the tree and talking with the tree where you can move through the branches in a dream. You see, and when I said move through, it gave me this. Change your personal perspective. Whatever was before the traditions, because this card is about breaking traditions, break them, because it will lead you to a harvest. House 12, and that's what you're letting go of, house 12. And then you're moving into house 1, which is the healing. The harvest is when you release. The healing is when you arrive at house 1. And do we have a 2? I don't believe we do. We have the new beginning. The healing brings you into a new dimensional gateway. And look, I'm assuming all us Virgo energy people, we're all going to that new dimension. So we need to find the 2, which is... Oh, it wasn't the deck I meant to pick up. Bring that back. I want to go into this one. Oh, I can feel a breeze. I want to say, and it feels like relief. So this is interesting that it's coming through as house 11, and it's talking about how you need to hold back old dreams. You don't need the old dreams anymore. This is wheat from chaff. If you can unanchor, you're changing. There's the energy of change within this frequency. You're transforming what you will collect, your harvest, your rewards. So, magnet. This is pleasure zone. This is erotic attraction. So this is entanglements. There's something about a kind of, I want to say, transcurrent human sexuality to you. Okay? So, there's a divine pleasure in this attraction, in this magnetism. Everything attracts something, but you can't attract this something, this magical something. Yeah, look, we need to remind ourselves they're not perfect yet, but you will make them perfect if you want them to be. But they will be full of old traumas of their own that you dumped. But you'll maybe help them dump, or maybe you won't. Maybe you'll just enjoy the pleasure that they give you. That's a nice thing too. It's a little bit deceptive, but it's an energy I keep getting from Virgo. Is a kind of frequency where you just want to have fun, and you're going to have it. You're going to take the fun, and if it gets boring, you'll either change them or change them. So I went, oh, because you've got Eros in here as well. Sexual desires, a need for sexual pleasure, attracting sexual pleasure, attracting playfulness. It's all rather Virgo. Yeah, tip me now. I can't make this up. You can see magnet, Eros. Oh, look. Pluto. That's your house 2 energy. So you are looking for someone. Look, it might be the first time in your life you're actually looking for someone who has their own Plutarch frequency, as in they're financially stable. You can't, no offense to anyone that hasn't got any money, which is me most of the time. But right now, that kind of Virgo energy that's also tied into the Venus and Pluto conjunction on the 1st of January, that's got this energy of a need for financial stability in the other. You don't want to carry them. You don't want to carry them because at the moment they're not quite living their full truth, but it's your choice to make them have it. So there's something about this look, diamagnetic frequency of Pluto. Diamagnetic is when someone stands in a magnetic field and they flow in a different direction, but you're just like, I'm just going to shoot my little arrow of love at you, and you're going to come over and you're going to find me. It's like you get to pick. How lovely is that? You choose from the menu of lust. So, no. I'm putting them there for the moment. We've got one down here. Moon in Libra. That's what it feels like. Emotional partnershiping. Having control over having control over them, Venus. This starts out very one-sided, but so playful. And it's got 13 frequency. This is the bolt from the blue. I'm sure Penelope's here because this card says the snake bearer. Just saying, read that how you will. This is the galactic thread. You can pull on their galactic thread, or their galactic snake, if it pleases you. So what's going on over here with this? Look, that's so weird. I put them back in different places, but I feel like when I see a double Scorpio energy, it says that you are the maitre d' of sexuality. It says you know how to work a person. And you've got Pisces, and you've got this house 1 essence, 1, 1, 2, but you've got this sense of Neptune. I feel like you are going to shoot them with some kind of shocker of an energy, and however they were, I feel like this person may have been like, I'm not doing relationships, and then until there was you came along and you put a sexual fog over them. Right, well, Virgo, I'm sorry, I can't go any further down that or it'll get X-rated. So, yes. I mean, I'm sure that we channeled a little bit of Penelope there as it got ruder. But look, it's gorgeous. I'm going to go and sit in my Virgo frequency when I'm done. I'm going to activate all the planets in my stellium. Oh. Let's put these back. I know you don't want me to. So, get rid of all that childhood trauma or love trauma, sexual trauma, whatever it was. Dump it. Move to a new dimension. And then Hot Hades is on his way to you. He's not yet emotionally stable, but he has got his own cash. So, one more deck. And then we're moving on to Sagittarius. They are Eros at the moment. So it's interesting that you're getting to shoot that poison arrow through my heart. Right, let's go to Sagittarius. Oh yeah, you see, it's interesting, right? So oh no, that's not where I write timestamps. That would really not help me. Timestamp Sagittarius 1:32:38. So that's 02. Oh no, my pen's running out. But yesterday was my lighter. 02. Oh, it's really not working. I've only got the one pen at the moment. 0212. I'm having to etch it. 38. Oh, that's so annoying. I really don't have another pen at the moment. So, Sagittarius. Your house 4, sacral energy, home to your own emotions. And you've got Eros at 2 degrees, Moon at 8 degrees at this point on the solstice. You are releasing emotional fires from within and reigniting your solar sacral power. And I want to say that part of it is sologamy, which is marrying yourself. That's not where you're ultimately heading, but you do need to come to terms with your own emotions. It's a bit weird, that bus. Sorry, I just got to look at that. It felt like a parade bus, but it isn't. So I'm going to begin by talking about your song, because part of your reading, Sagittarius, is you've got to ignite your own fires, your own self-desires, before you can move into the other energy that's coming next year. So you've got a very small window to really get to terms with loving yourself properly. So your song is I belong to you by Muse. But the point of the song is, it will be your song in January, but first, I belong to you, as in I belong to me. I belong to myself. So a little bit of your lyrics, when these pillars get pulled down, it will be you who wears the crown. So in other words, it will be me who wears the crown. You have to say it to yourself for the moment. Whenever you see the word you, for the moment, it's you yourself, before it becomes you somebody else. How much pain has cracked your soul? How much love would make you whole? You're my guiding lightning strike, you yourself. I can't find the words to say, they're overdue. I've traveled half the world to say, I belong to you, as in yourself. Okay, and this song is a gorgeous song, and it contains one of my most favorite operatic arias, which is from Samson and Delilah, and it's when Delilah seduces Samson. And you've got to seduce yourself before you seduce another, Sagittarius. So it's got the beautiful song, Repons à ma tendresse. So respond to my tenderness. It's a gorgeous song. You can go and listen to it. It's in the Read More. But your song will transform into a song you can gift another once you've gifted that love to yourself. That's the point of this. Okay. Yeah, exactly. It's called sologamy when you marry yourself. It's the new big thing. Yes, I belong to me. So, you are dealing with relighting your sacral fires and health. Because when you relight your sacral fires, your health will return, Sagittarius. Purify your emotions to create the Philosopher's Stone within your sacral. And you've got this energy of incoming emotional freedom. There is the Akashic womb, I'm hearing. Get out of the Akashic womb. What's the key to get you out of the Akashic womb? Loving yourself. Being that powerful within yourself. Now, there was a second song that came through for you, but because I saw a vision of the Suez Canal being blocked by that ship, Ever Given, which was owned by a company called Evergreen. And Evergreen was a song to A Star Is Born by Barbara Streisand. So that's where the other song came through. And that is all about being in love. But again, if you do listen to that song, sing it to you first. There is something in this energy where you've got to learn. So love, soft as an easy chair, love, love, ageless and evergreen, seldom seen by two. No, because you need to see it by one first. So that's not where I meant to begin. I've got Barbara Streisand in my brain. She needs to get out. I used to absolutely love her, but then I got a little bit creeped out when her dog died and she had it cloned. I was like, that's weird. If you've got that much money, do something good with it. So, Sagittarius. Right, interesting, there's two cards stuck in the deck. So, going on a ride into your fires. That's the energy we began with, this energy of relighting your sacral fires, and then going on a cosmic ride on the cosmic buffalo here, the white buffalo. I think there's a bit of a party starting in the streets now. So I'm being told you have to earth your fires, and you do that by learning to love you. Now, what are the two energies? Oh, this is interesting. The Wheel of Fortune will not move unless you love you. You have to perform self-love. Shoot your own Eros arrow first at yourself, in your belly. And then you will become one with the wheel, and it will move. You will find your freedom, is what I'm getting from that. It's the Chariot, but it's like all the component parts. There's options. There's people that will be affected by your self-love shining from within. So, where are we going first? To the rooms, to the rooms, to the rooms. How do I sleep there? I haven't been sleeping very well, because it actually just goes on all night. Yes, it's true, when you love yourself, others will love you. But, you know, you can go out if you've got a little bit of Virgo and make someone love you even without that. But that's because Virgo's in a playful mood. But you don't get the true love that you require until you break through your own and then their honesty. I have to be honest and say I can't stand lipstick. Reminds me of the underbelly of a male dog. Just saying. I would like to go somewhere quiet, but I need to not be somewhere so quiet that the internet doesn't work, because we've got to do the launch of the deck. Also, I can't actually leave here until the one deck that's been printed while the others are in the printer arrives. It's in customs. I'm just waiting for it to clear customs, and they said that would be Tuesday, and I'm meant to be leaving on Wednesday, so I'm just being really laid back about it. I'm not booking a flight until I've got that deck in my hand. I'm not taking that. It was purge, day, night. I was too busy talking about me, and we're here to talk about Sagittarius. So, Sagittarius. Oh, now, that's interesting. Just the first two. There's been a heartache, you know, there's always a heartache, but this was a wound. This hurt so hard that it disconnected you from your sacral. It was, look, so what am I picking up? I'm picking up a relationship breakdown, and then they planted a load of seeds in you to make you self-doubt. Sort of like the kind of energy where you have a breakup and then they go, you were never very exciting in bed, or whatever it is. They throw a deliberate wound over you, and it took root in your heart. It's like the fangs of the viper went in, and it's just been sucking at your heart and your emotions, and it drained your sacral. ignite the water meadow. What did I say? It was ignite your solar sacral power. This is your gift. You've got the Eros arrows right now. You don't need to take any of that shit anymore. Then you've got seed, and these seeds, you can see this as a new seed because it's there. But I actually feel like it's the old seed. I feel like it's the empty seed that just was part of this heartache, that just got caught, Sagittarius, for a very, very long time in your belly, drying you out, that kind of viper venom sucking through you. And then there's Etbursten, break free. There's an energy as well in the card Etbursten, in the poetry, that talks about the frequency of lies in love, the frequency of the fist of a narcissist. There's a very uncomfortable energy, but this is the U bow and the arrow. You've got Eros's bow and arrow. The idea is that you pull the arrow taut, and eventually at some point you burst out because you were gifted with the ability to fly from the pain and find a new home. So, Butcher's Brom, cleaning up emotions, cleaning up your sacral, clearing all of the kind of plastic waste in the water meadow, removing all of that, and then this energy of the newness, the new bud coming in. It's a beautiful energy. You're going to fly high, but you've got to deal with that pain first. I feel like it's not necessarily, I don't feel like you're bursting away from them. You've got to burst free of the darkness they left upon you, how they, there is this notion of them just giving you a bad seed, showing you a lie about yourself that you took to heart, a deception. You know, their last weapon was to plant nasty emotions in you. And I would say if they are still there and this person still has power over you, then what you really need to think about doing is unhooking any remaining emotional threads that you gave them as love, because they don't deserve them. And I'm not going to tell you to cut those connections. I'm gonna tell you to unhook them and take them back. They belong to you. They are love that came from your heart. And if you gave them to someone and they didn't appreciate them, take them back. Don't do this severing because you leave part of your energy in them. Take it back to you so that you can reel it out to you and then to someone else. So, Sagittarius, where are we going? I don't know. Do you want Paul Huson deck? I'm asking you a question here, giving you the choice. Do you want Tarot of the Golden Renaissance, shiny, or do you want Tiger, Tiger, Burning Bright, Tarot de los Dias de Tres Dias? So, I'm just looking down to see what you might say. Tiger, 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 tiger. Hurr. So, don't put other ideas in my head now. It's tiger. Yeah, look, you always wanted all the golden tarot, but we're going with tiger. It is currently Year of the Water Tiger in the Chinese astrology. And on the 20th of January, we're going into Water Rabbit. And that's a lucky year for everyone. There's the weirdest noises out there. I really rather hope it might be the parade for Jesus of the Earthquakes. I'd quite like to see that one, but I don't think that's in this area. Yeah, it has gone so damn quickly. Time is so weird at the moment. So what do you begin with? Well, Ten of Wands. This is struggling. This is that energy. This is a reminder of the battles that you've gone through to kind of clear up your passions. Look, I want to return you to the cosmic buffalo and the child on the snake. Look at the playfulness of this riding journey forwards, and then just go back to this. The wheel won't move until you self-love. Until you move on from the pain of heartache, and then it came, the heartache. But so, this has been overburdening you. It's been too heavy. So, So, Sagittarius. I'm not taking that one. Ten of Fires is, you know, that needs cooling off. I would say... No, I won't. I'm not saying that thought that just went through my head. That was mean. Maybe I will say it. So, you now got the 9. This is slow. This is slow. So what were they saying? When you go into that person and take out your wounds, your hooks that are in their heart, cauterize their holes. You know, seal it up quickly. But there was a sense of burn their heart too. Yeah, it is lay down the burden and lighten the load, but there's something here, Parry, where this is not something that Sagittarius is willing to do quickly. See what comes next. You know, moving one thread at a time is not in a rush to let go of the heartache. It's like somehow remaining in the poison. Yeah, look. So, 3 of Swords. The overburden of the heartache that's been going on a long time. And then igniting the water meadow. I'm just going to use the one match. I'm not going to do it properly. Is just going to keep the heartache seeded in you. Maybe there's threads of them. Maybe they're real. Maybe they're not. But threads of them that need unhooking from you. Because there's something here where you can't quite sever the connection. The shamanic energy is swift and beautiful. But there's something here where I wanted to say you just don't want to break through the status quo of this frequency, because you're within 3 cards, you're staying in the same frequency. You've lightened the load a little. You need to lighten it a lot. So, Ed Burston and the Devil. This is got the frequency of distorted passion. That bad seed. Oh, so many horns going off out there. This bad seed frequency that's in your sacral is self-doubt. It's not that you're blaming them almost. You're slightly blaming yourself. And look, it takes 2 to tango. It also takes 2 to leave the ballroom. And you both need to leave the ballroom. Don't stay in that ballroom in like Miss Havisham frequency. Just get up and go out. Sweep out the room. So maybe, you see, I'm picking up the energy of Esprit d'Escalier. So Esprit de l'Escalier is the things you should have said that you remember as you sweep out the room. And I think that's slightly what you're suffering from. You need to just, I feel like there's something in this energy which is, I can't think of the word, I did a whole reading on it a long time ago. Closure. You haven't had the closure. And do you know what? You give yourself the closure, not them. You don't need to know why they put a padlock on your vagina almost. You know, on your joy, on your sexual joy. That's the whole point. I shouldn't have said that because now all the rude bots have come in. But you're sweep aside this energy. Give yourself the closure and come back into your sacral sovereignty in the real world, not in some kind of imagined fairy tale, for real. And what's the new bud? King of Cups, emotional stability, loving you. Loving you is easy 'cause you're beautiful. That's what you need to remember. You are beautiful in every single way. You need that sologamy. You need to remember, because there's the most fantastic journey coming. You've got the Eros, bow and arrow, and it's making you quiver. So let's get the Alchemy of Astrology deck. So, yeah, I went through all kinds of songs, looking for flying songs. I got really caught up in the Lenny Kravitz song. I got to get away, I want to get away, I've gotta fly. And all that kind of stuff. I'm probably singing that one. I've been through so many songs. There's a lot of really awful songs out there. Terrible songs. So, Sagittarius. Honestly, I really think this is the noisiest place in the world. The other one on the floor. Yeah. This is emotional heat. The need to transform. You see, I think that you were sex shamed or lust shamed. There's some kind of lust, sex wound that was delivered as a seed at this breakup, and it scalded you, and it's affected you. This card was being knocked away because you got to knock it away. Oh my God, this is interesting. Aquarian energy, Charakla and Saturn are the only two things. Aquarius? Yeah, they're in Aquarius. This is about a battle between the boundaries enforced and how you enforce your own boundaries. The graceful enforcer of boundaries. Returning, you're in control of your own boundaries. They are not put upon you by others, and any boundaries that have been put on you have to be unhooked. Shamanic law, this is an awakening. I feel like there's a sense of like this distortion, this bad seed energy, this sex shaming, whatever it was that came. There's something about that energy that's like a form of lead poisoning. It's got right inside you, and it's time now to enforce your own boundaries. Not to this person, to you. Redraw your own emotional map. Psyche. You're getting very asteroidal here, Sagittarius. This is blossoming self-love. This is the soul's home. And this is then allowing love. So that belong to yourself and then you can share with another. So, this landed on you in self-loving bliss, fire, and quicksilver, the mutable modality. You need to become excitable. There's kind of, that's what needs to be broken through, is an excitement in your own journey. This is 777. But what's missing somehow, even though it's your energy, is you're almost the animism. It's like the spirit of the physical world needs to return your fires. So somehow you need to notice the passion in the real world, not in other people, but how passion is a drive that pulls things together. And this is sacred, self-serving wisdom. You know, think about how there are signs in nature of how nature self-cares, of how nature looks after its own. You need to look after your own self. And this cosmic buffalo frequency is about running out of steam and being recreated. And that's what you're doing. You've got this energy now with this moon in Gemini to have an emotional rethink about where you stand. And this is also mutable. It's being in that moment where your mutability is your strength. You know, it doesn't matter how long you were stuck in the bad seed heartache frequency, you can change it. You can move to a different energy if you want to. Well, when you want to, because you will. Sulfur, cardinal modality. To move, to be mutable, you have to have new passions. You have to activate that frequency. And look at the symbols here. This is missing its tail. The tail is in this mutability energy, but you've got to kind of make this cardinal sense to return to this, to return to your mutability. You've got to connect, move forwards, move backwards, rebuild, and then seal the door on the new you that's got all the love going for it. Look, I don't know who else said it earlier, but you've got them both. You have got everything connecting. Sacred arcana wisdom to bring everything back. The Philosopher's Stone is the fire. It's all elements alchemized. It's the cosmic womb. It's the prima materia. Everything in your life was designed, even the pain, to open the doorway to bring you into this new energy. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. But you have to make the effort. This door's not just going to open. What will you release? What will you release to be healed? Release the pain, release the shame, release all that heartache, and then you can heal yourself. But you can't heal yourself and find another if you can't let go of the shaming that was written into your codes by another. I don't know what that is, but that sounds loud and aggressive. There's some crazy energy out here. Thank you, Holly. There are ghosts behind me. This house is rammed with them. They keep opening locked doors, rattling things. They sound like they're breaking in all the time, and they don't bother me. Because when ghosts become problematic, I just tell them if they don't stop what they're doing, I'll open the light and shove them in it. They never want that. That's why they're here as ghosts. Yeah, that painting is ghostly. It freaks me out. I don't really like it. There's one around the corner that I do like. Let me show you the one that I do like. I have to put the light on, which doesn't light up very well. I quite like this painting. I don't know why, but I'd love a deck of cards with artwork like that. Yeah, exactly. It's just a friendly push. I just ignore them all the time, because the first time I ran into a problem ghost was in Switzerland in a very old hotel, and it punched me on the chest really hard. I was just like, you touch me again, I will open the door of the light and you will have no choice. I will shove you through it. And I know you don't want to go there. And it stopped. Yeah, I don't do deals with them. I have to be honest. I offer them if they want. If they've got a real problem and they want to talk to me, like the woman in Portugal who wanted my attention, but she died and she'd never gone through the law. She wanted to, but I said to her, look, you can't keep annoying me. I'll talk to you later. Because the point is, the world is for the living, not the dead. They have somewhere else they're meant to be. And if they don't want to go there, we can meet them. I tell you, the weirdest ghost I ever ran into was the ghost of a jukebox. It was in a pub. Well, it was in an expo. Hello, free Vert Girls chat. You're just a bot, mate. We're really not interested. And you wouldn't be any fun. Thank you, Eve. A jukebox ghost, yeah. And what it was like, it was the collective memory of, my God, they're getting on these really dangerous routes. Seriously, they put all those, I think they're taking all those banners down already for that pointless parade. So, yeah, it used to play the kind of songs in the space that maudlin drunk people would pick. Oh, it drove me mad. I used to do tarot readings in the shop that was the pub. And it used to put the most horrendous songs in my head. I really think they've done all that effort to put all that stuff out, and now they're taking it down. Maybe it's too windy. The wind's been really picking it up. I mean, they even put a cross on, but the cross wasn't lit up when the parade went by. It was on all last night. I need to put my glasses on. I need to see what they're doing. I think, yeah, I think the winds made all their strings of banners get caught up. Do you know what? It was annoying. There was also in that same space, there was a ghost who used to sit right behind me, and he was an old alcoholic, and he'd not had a drink for so long that he could make you thirsty. And he began to really wind me up because he would sit on my shoulder almost when I was doing readings. And one day I shoved him through the wall and I blocked the wall so that he couldn't get back to where I am, because they kind of divided the pub with a new wall and there was another part of it. So I shoved him in there and I wouldn't let him back in. And there was a spiritual medium and she told me off. I was like, you can't tell me off. He was annoying me. I told him to stop doing it. He didn't. She said, you have to be gentle with them. I went, no, you can be gentle with them. Sometimes they just need telling. Anyway, I had to let him back in so that she could gently deal with him. But the problem was he'd not gone through because he got so drunk, he caused the fire and someone else died, and he was too scared to go into the light because he thought he was going to get sent to the hell hole or something. I don't know. But, you know, sometimes I just think shove them through, you know. Someone else will deal with them on the other side. It's all going to be fine. They're not going to be in trouble. Olga! I just finished Olga. I'm getting hungry now. I might even walk into Miraflores. Olga! So Olga sent me some really interesting information. I haven't looked at it properly yet, but there's a woman who has got a display on, and she reads ancient lima beans that they carve messages and words and language on, and you can use them for fortune telling. And if I get the chance to just extend my stay a day or two, I'll be able to go to it. But I need to see, first of all, what's happening with the Liffruma healing deck that's in customs. Come through, come through. Yes, that is Olga, my friend, who came with me and did some readings in Oje Tambo. So, I'm waiting to see what you're doing. Oh, actually, because Olga's here, Olga, look. Olga, I don't know what's going on. I showed you the picture earlier. Oops. Oh, look, now they're putting up more stuff. There's something else. They're making a carpet of flowers. This is that black ribbon, I believe, is used for people in the services who died from COVID. Because I found a house in Miraflores the other day, and outside it had all these pictures of mainly men, but they were all doctors and medical people that had died of COVID. So they must be creating something. There's also more flags that go all the way down that way. So there must be some other kind of parade coming. No, Olga's gone back to Europe. Interesting. I wonder if it must be tomorrow, because if they're doing those flowers now, they'll just blow away, won't they? I don't know how it works with flower carpets. So if they do something, maybe it's a night parade, or a night vigil, because they've got a cross, a neon cross now on the top of the building, and I can go up on the roof and video it. Yeah, it's definitely religious, because it goes all the way down the street, and those purple banner flags have got Jesus on them. Here we go, more sirens, because Olga's here. It's just to make her know it's a very, very noisy country. Well, I'm hoping to find out at some point, because I need to know. I don't like not knowing. I want it to be Jesus of the earthquakes. I'd really like to see a Jesus of the earthquakes thing. Well, yeah, there was a little parade, and I was like, and they were clapping and singing, and it was on the video here, but I was like, that's it. If they put all that up just for that, it's a bit crazy. But the wind has definitely messed up their banners, because it did get really windy just now. And they're all, they've cleared all that debris over the club roof, actually. That's interesting. I kept thinking that was a fire hazard. No, it's not about an earthquake. It's about sating Jesus and the earthquake so that you don't have them. Yeah, I'm excited, but I'm hungry, always. At the end of these readings, I'm hungry. So I should also type up the timestamps, but I'll just give them to you now. So Pisces, 4 minutes. Gemini, 54:54. Virgo, 01:34:44. And Sagittarius, 02:12:38. Yeah, I know, my bio needs to ease off, but I got to get in the last few bits of Papa a la Huancaína before I depart. And Chicha Morada, because I'm sure nowhere else does Chicha Morada. And I think I love Chicha Morada. But I do love Chicha Morada. So tomorrow will be fixed signs. Yeah, Chicha Morada is so good. It's just too good. I think because I drank litres and litres of it that I made myself, I think my tattoo healed much quicker. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not sure about the time. I wanted to be a bit earlier today, but honestly, it was difficult to lock it down. Maybe it's Puno week. Puno's thing is at the end of January, beginning of February, when they have the Candelaria or something. I probably said that word completely wrong. But that's an event where everyone dresses up in the most amazing costumes, gets drunk and falls over. And I don't think I can deal with Puno again. I'm not designed to be at that altitude. It was hard. I had a very bloody bogey-filled nose. Yeah, Candelaria. Thank you, Olga. Olga is the authority on Peru, being Peruvian. Well, if I would like to go to it once because I would love to see all those costumes. But Panama next, for the time being. With everyone's help. So, I'm going to say goodbye because I've been on for 3 hours. It's 181 now. So, beautiful people, I will be back with installment number 3, Fixed Signs, tomorrow, and Puno after. Well, I probably will come back to Peru. I'm thinking though, you can't go to Costa Rica from here without a yellow fever jab. But I was thinking maybe if I went into Panama and then flew from Panama to Costa Rica, I could pop into Costa Rica. I just like to go where they make good coffee. I know they do here in Peru, but it's world famous. Sirens. It's so crazy. So everybody, Wassail. Yeah, I really do want to go to Costa Rica. I want to see sloths because they just hang around being really lazy in the trees. And I'd quite like to just watch them. They seem cool creatures. So, Peaberry coffee, yum. Well, let's see what comes if I can get in. Because they only ask for the yellow fever certificates if you're coming from Brazil and Peru and other places. They don't seem to be bothered if you're coming from Panama. So we'll see. Wassail, mutable people.